During the first year, we're actually going to go out and find an early 19th century structure. We're going to document it, and we're going to dismantle it and move it here at Eastfield Village. We'll take you through all the processes involved in this, like rebuilding the foundation, repairing the timber frame. We'll do the plaster work. We'll actually make the paints from scratch to paint this building. And then we're going to go out and we're going to find period furnishings to put into this building. We'll use period and modern techniques to do all the restoration work, and this will help you in your own projects. And when we're done, I guarantee you will have never seen anything like this before on television.
No, I wanted to be an architect my whole life, basically, and I've loved to build since I was a kid. Instead of Christmas presents, I asked for a hammer and saw and nails to work with. That's all I wanted from when I was 4 years old. So, all I had was a tractor, the sweat of my brow, and whatever labor I could put into it. And I ran around the neighborhood collecting old bricks and parts of buildings and doing whatever I could collect. And built this first building, the tavern, out of old parts. And then people started asking me if I wanted old buildings around the neighborhood. So I ended up starting to drag them home with a tractor and a trailer on the back of the tractor.
So why did I collect 26 historic buildings? Well, I'm a born collector, and as a kid I collected postage stamps. As a teenager I collected antique bottles, tools, and furnishings. And I really wanted someplace to put these, so I built a reproduction 18th century tavern. And it all grew from there. Now I have an amazing 18th century inn, a wonderful 1811 general store. I don't just collect the big buildings, I collect the small ones that go with it. You've never seen anything like an outhouse going down the road in the back of a big truck. You get a lot of funny looks from that. But this great outhouse from down in Castleton, New York, was built about 1805, and inside it's got a plastered vaulted ceiling, it's got paneled wainscoting. The wainscoting is above and below the seats. There are covers on all the three main adult seats. There's even a children's paneled seat over here in the corner, and there's a stationary louvered shutter on the front window. I'll tell you, my students just love using it. My favorite building is this 1836 Brick Revival Church. Now, I've told you something about myself, and you've seen the village. I'd like you to see a working pilot to give you a better sense of what an episode of the series will be like. Since we haven't started working on the actual building, the content won't be exactly the same, but it's close to the projects we'll be doing. I hope you enjoy The Great American Craftsman. Welcome to Great American Craftsman. I'm Don Carpentier, and we have a lot to cover today, including finishing the woodwork on the sink base in the tavern kitchen. We'll take a look at the furnishings of a typical early 19th century tavern bedroom, and we'll take a close look at a lamp that changed early America. So follow me and let's get started. Now I'd like to show you the operation of an 1840 solar lamp. These were developed in the early 1840s to help save on fuel. Before that, argan lamps were for rich people, and they burned whale oil, which was becoming very scarce by the 1840s and expensive. So they had to come up with a lamp that would burn a cheaper fuel. These were developed just to burn unsalted lard, the type of lard you could get from your pigs in the barnyard. They give you a really, really bright light, and you could actually now stay up in the evenings instead of going to bed as soon as it got dark. You could work on your needlework, you could read the scriptures at that point. So it changed the way that you lived in your house in the 1840s. It changed lighting in America. So now what we have to do is turn up the wick a little bit by turning this outside frame that supports the shade. So now what we have to do is fire it up. Of course, we're using mineral oil today instead of lard, because the lard is a real mess. There, now it's going well enough. They added a chimney to these lamps that helped create a draft, which caused the flame to burn hotter and to consume any smoke so that you didn't have a smelly lamp. It was a very clean burning lamp. Now this is a glass shade that would go over the outside just to be pretty and to help shield your eyes from the light. Why don't we dim the lights so you can really take a look at it? People were very put off by this incredibly bright light coming from these globes because it would seem so bright to them. You'd have a frosted globe that would diffuse the light before it hurt your eyes.